first wave of NFL free agency is over, and now teams are kind of looking around, rebuilding. Which team do you think had the best offseason so far?
It's the team that didn't sign any big name free agents, which is weird, but it's the team that made two really shrewd trades, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. Trading for Stephon Gilmore from the Colts and trading for speedy receiver Brandon Cooks from the Texans.
Yeah.
It not only fills two of their gaping holes, but they did it for late round draft picks.
Yeah.
Like not much collateral at all.
Yeah.
And of course, the Cowboys need a deep threat with Brandon Cooks. He's got as many catches, as deep catches of 25 plus yards as anybody in the NFL,
Wow.
not named Tyreek Hill.
Not to mention those 1,000-yard receiving.
He's got skins on the wall, right? And what he does from a personal standpoint is he doesn't bring Odell Beckham here, which I think
It's also a win.
Right, it's also a win because not that Odell Beckham doesn't have some skills left, but he brings a circus to town.
Yeah.
And
Brandon does not. I
Oh,
remember
no.
Brandon Cooks
He's
at Oregon State. He's like
Boy Scout,
as
right?
easy as
Yeah.
He's so kind. He's
Right.
gonna be a great locker room guy.
So he's
Him and
anti-Odell.
Dak Prescott are gonna get along great. Yeah, he's honestly the anti-Odell.
Right, so that's one thing, and then of course you get Stephon Gilmore, former All-Pro cornerback, one of the best ball skills, probably a future Hall of Famer, to let him teach, maybe his protege and Trevon Diggs. Dan Quinn's licking his chops. Cowboys, two big wins for them in free agency.
Now that the first wave of NFL free agency is over, is there any moves that were like crazy shocking to you, or maybe a little risky?
One that just happened, maybe not risky, but something I just thought this will never happen. Why are we even talking about it?
Yeah.
It's Bobby Wagner going back home to Seattle.
Yeah, what a cool storyline. Somebody needs to write a book about it. I'm sure they will be.
Yeah, coming home to the 12th man or something like that. So he leaves last March, and there was acrimony, and both sides kind of snipped at each other in the media. And he goes to the Rams, a division rival, which is literally his home. He grew up in California, and he had a great year. He started all 17 games, played at 99% of the snaps.
Like one of the only guys that stayed healthy.
Second team All-Pro, but all of a sudden the Rams go 5-12, and it's a disaster. And then he somehow gets back to Seattle, which
just a quick little flight away.
like I want to be in that room when probably his agent's like, "What would you consider going back to Seattle?" And watching his head spin, like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then going, "Wait a minute, that makes a lot of sense."
Right.
It's a great win for Seattle. He calls it my football home, and he was amazing there. He was a captain on some of their best teams, and Seattle got better defensively with Bobby Wagner. Just if you gave me a list of teams he's going to be on, Seattle would have been at the bottom because been there, done that. But you can go home again, I guess, for Bobby Wagner.
Coming home to the 12th man. NFL free agency rolls on. Now, is there any NFL free agency moves that you're like, woo, that was not a good one?
Yeah, what are the Commanders doing? I don't understand. Now, not that there's anything wrong with letting go of Carson Wentz because everybody's letting go of him. But Taylor Heineke, who they tried, they let him leave in free agency.
Right.
And that's kind of expected. That's okay. Let's get our next quarterback of the future and sign Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Good guy, but he's, I think, 18-30 as a starter. Stepped in for Deshaun Watson last year with the Browns and looked like a guy who was 18-30 as a starter. He's going to compete with Sam Howell for the job. I just don't.
You don't see it.
I don't see him pushing Sam Howell. I don't see him getting the starting job. Is he even an adequate backup? He hasn't shown it so far.
Right.
There's some guys in the NFL that just by being a good guy and a warm body, you keep getting jobs. Jacoby Brissett is that guy.
Yep.
Way to go, Washington.
NFL free agency rolls on, but really, we could kind of call it Lamar agency, basically. What is the latest with Lamar in Baltimore?
Wow, what a
crazy story.
I'm trying to figure out, is this going to be a positive spin or a negative spin for players without agents?
Right.
Because I wanted to go get them Lamar, cut out, whatever your 6% of 100 million is going to be, save your money. But now I'm kind of like, man, he needs an agent.
Right.
This is
it's getting a little messy.
It's a circus.
It's taking a long time.
Yeah. So the latest is Lamar announced and sent basically via a farewell letter to the Baltimore Ravens that thanks for all the support, but I'm out of here. I asked for a trade on March 2nd, and I hope the Ravens trade me because they have not been interested in meeting my value, which sounds a lot like agent talk coming from a player. So, I mean, I guess he definitely wants to be traded.
Yeah.
But now with this announcement on Twitter, the Ravens' leverage has just plummeted with him.
Right.
I mean, teams are going to go, well, he wants out. All those 2 first rounders are now 1 first round.
Yeah.
So it probably made it even messier with him going public.
That's honestly, it's going to be interesting to watch with Lamar.
I mean, what team wouldn't want him? I was talking to a guy about the Patriots, for example. They have Mac Jones, they have Bailey Zappi, but that team lacks probably the most offensive playmakers of any competitive team. They were about 500.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you trade for Lamar, you get a running back and a quarterback. in the best 2 positions on your team, he's the best player at 2 positions. How do you not, if you're in New England, make that phone call? But now you make that phone call, go, oh, Baltimore, we kind of got you over a barrel because we know he wants out of there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to work out better for him or not, but I think so far the Ravens sure wished he would have had an agent. Yeah.
So do you think that the Patriots should bring in Lamar and kick Mac Jones to the curb? Or are you thinking like just a quarterback?
I just think Mac Jones here, Lamar Jackson not in the screen. He's that good and that dynamic. And if you watch enough, and the Patriots aren't the only team like this, but if you watch enough of the Patriots, you're like, well, they sure need a playmaker. And Lamar he's 2-1, 2 for the price of 1. Yeah. How do you not
buy one, get one?
How does almost every team, and I know there's some exceptions, but there's 27 NFL teams that should pick up the phone and go, so Lamar wants out. What are we talking about?
Right.
That'd be crazy not to.
NFL season is right around the corner, which is hard to believe.
It's right around the corner?
Kind of. You never
stops. The corner is a straight line. We're always rolling down.
It's kind of right around the corner, though. Honestly,
yeah, it is.
Here we go with the NFL draft and then training camps, mini camps.
We've definitely transitioned from last season to this season. Just kind of seamlessly.
So let's talk about this next season of Hard Knocks. Do you feel like there is a team that has really great storylines that you'd love to see on that show?
How do you not do Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets?
Oh gosh!
Come on! I mean,
that is so funny.
You've got to watch that.
It's already going to be in the news.
It's an amazing story that is a non-story. It's the most amazing non-story ever.
Yeah, it would be very interesting.
You turn on the TV and you watch, the talking heads saying, should the Jets be worried that the Aaron Rodgers deal isn't done? And you're like, we are so making up a story about a non-story that, Rodgers said, I'm ready to play for the Jets. That was 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And we're still talking about, why isn't the deal done? Well, I would like to see the inner workings of these phone calls between the Jets and the Packers.
That's a good point.
And,
how is the team going to handle it?
And what if Hard Knocks was way ahead of the game and sent cameras with Aaron Rodgers to his darkness retreat?
Well, the darkness retreat was in my hometown. In Southern Oregon.
So did you get scooped?
I have not been to the darkness retreat.
You got to do it.
But I know exactly where it's at, and I certainly could go.
You should go. And then you should follow Aaron Rodgers.
I will emerge a new human.
When he does his ayahuasca and all that stuff. Aaron Rodgers is a fascinating guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could do that, and then also throw in the mix, what if they sign Ezekiel Elliott?
Yeah.
Then you got a Cowboys angle, and I'm tuning in.
Yep.